It's May. It's extremely early, but you're a sicko for this game of college football. I'm a sicko for this game. So let's take a quick peek at the potential Heisman power rankings, if you will. This is subject to change. This is not all-inclusive. I'm just giving you a little feel for who I think is got a really good chance to win this award when it's all said and done. So let's start at the top, and we got to start with the returning Heisman Trophy winner. Right? I mean, Caleb Williams did his absolute thing a season ago, won the Heisman in November, it really felt like, with those games against UCLA and Notre Dame. And like the thing with Caleb Williams that I don't think we will have to account for this coming season that we did last season was that he's playing on the West Coast. And we all know this. We talk about it every single year when there's a good player in the Pac-12 that should be considered for the Heisman. A lot of times they're playing games when a lot of the people on the East Coast are asleep. Okay, so with Caleb Williams, I think we're at the point now where his star power is going to override any West Coast, not bias, but any West Coast logistics, if you will, when it comes to Caleb Williams and evaluating him. The most talented player in college football, probably the best player in college football. You just know what you're getting with him. Now, his Heisman trajectory, his path to the Heisman, looks a little bit different than it did a season ago. It starts November 4th. You got Washington at home. You go at Oregon, UCLA. Then obviously you'll have the Pac-12 title game should USC find themselves in that position, which I think they very well could. Those are the games I'm really looking at. Those are the games where I need Caleb Williams to make a strong push. The Heisman, for my money, is won in November. He did it last year. He's got a different group of opponents to get it done this year. So you need Washington, you need Oregon, you need UCLA all to hold up their end of the bargain for Caleb Williams to have those stages to have a chance to win the Heisman Trophy. Next, I want to talk about Jordan Travis. Before we do, though, make sure you're subscribed right here. We talk about college football every single day. Like I just said, you are a crazy person for this game, just like myself. We talk about it every single day on this channel. Go ahead and lock it in. Appreciate you in advance for that. Like I was saying, Jordan Travis, I think, has a very legitimate shot to win the Heisman Trophy. His path looks different than Caleb Williams in the sense that Jordan Travis has two early stages, the first 4 weeks of the season, where he's going to have to make a statement. Like he's got to hit the campaign trail a little bit early. You got week 1 in front of the entire country, the game of the weekend, LSU in Orlando. Very, very big game. If he loses that game, not the end of the world, but it does kind of create a situation where, hey, Jordan Travis, we need to play a little bit more catch-up. Now, week 4, they go to Clemson. Probably also going to be the game of the week. You expect College Game Day to be there. Atmosphere should be electric. That'll be a big one as well. Both these games, for Jordan Travis to set himself up for the rest of the season, need to be statement games. Like, I need Jordan Travis to go for 3 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing, and they got a lot of weapons around him to do it now. You and I both know this. They got Keon Coleman through the portal. Johnny Wilson is a 6'7" jump ball weapon. Jaheim Bell over the middle. Like, we keep talking about the offense at Florida State, but it goes through Jordan Travis. And he needs big statistical performances in both of those games with the eyes of the nation watching, need him to ball. The reason why we need that to happen early in the season, not just because those are important games for Florida State's national title hopes and the game against Clemson for the ACC title hopes, but you look at the rest of the schedule, and knowing what we know right now, you're not betting on a lot of those teams towards the end of the season for Florida State having the same juice that a Clemson or an LSU would have in terms of stage, because you and I know that's how it works with the Heisman Trophy. It is a award given out to the best player on the best team, but one of the most visible performances, the most visible player on the most visible team, and those are going to be very visible stages for the entire country. And you don't get a lot of other great stages towards the end of the year, depending on Miami and Florida, until the ACC title game. So we need to make some hay early if we're Jordan Travis. Now, here's my dark horse pick. Here is the money pick, because Vegas is just sleeping on him. They've got the stocking cap on. They've got the covers pulled over the face. They keep snoozing the alarm. I think he's going to wake them up. But Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, I think, checks a lot of boxes. And if you're looking for somewhere to put your hard-earned money, place to put some of those greenbacks, Carson Beck makes a lot of sense. It's sort of an unspoken thing that he's going to be the starter for Georgia. And based on what the award is given for, Carson Beck meets that criteria. Best player, quarterback. I think Brock Bowers might have the case for best player, but Carson Beck, we'll see. Probably one of the best players, is the quarterback, most important position on what will going into the year be the best team. And Georgia is going to have a chance to win a lot of games. Okay, they're going to have a chance to win a lot of games. The schedule isn't exactly a gauntlet. You got the game at Tennessee. You got the game against South Carolina early. Through no fault of Georgia's own, they don't have a super tough schedule. They're going to be in that conversation for a college football playoff berth and have a chance to be in the SEC title game. Like, all of the winning side of things for the Heisman Trophy shapes up just fine for Carson Beck. You look around him, a lot of weapons. A lot of people for Carson Beck to get the football to. What does that mean? He has a chance to put up some really good numbers as Georgia wins a lot of games. And so there's just enough of a stage, I think, at the end of the year, like I said, at Tennessee, second to last game of the season. Then the SEC title game, should they find themselves in that, which you would have to be if you're Carson Beck and you're vying for the Heisman Trophy. Like, there's just enough of a runway. There's just enough of a stage to where I think it could all come together. And if you wanted to put some money down, Carson Beck is a spot I would look. But I do think he's, for me at least, within that top 5 range of being a Heisman Trophy candidate. So one more guy we got to talk about here is Drake Maye. And Drake Maye isn't higher on this list, not through any fault of his own. We'll start with the positive. You have to include him because he is supremely talented and put up numbers a season ago. I mean, he accounted for 45 total touchdowns, 38 passing, 7 rushing, over 4,300 yards passing, over 700 yards rushing. Like, the offense, yet again, even with Phil Longo not there, is going to go through Drake Maye. But the issue is, Drake Maye doesn't play defense also. And North Carolina's defense leaves a lot to be desired. I don't think they're going to be much better this coming season based on what we know right now. So my concern is North Carolina as a team going to be in position to equip Drake Maye to be in that Heisman Trophy conversation? He's plenty good. Like, he's going to make a whole lot of money in the NFL. He'll probably be the second pick in the NFL draft this time next season. Like, nobody should be down on Drake Maye. But the way the Heisman Trophy works, I have a hard time believing that he's going to be able to, with the success of his team, be in position to just outright win it. Should get invited to New York, should be in the conversation, is more than talented enough to win it. But like I said, the way the award works, I have some reservations. Now, one guy that we also got to mention, and he's not really on this list for me, but I got to at least make a note, is Bo Nix, because he's out there in a lot of the odds for Vegas. He's someone that is going to be thrown around in this conversation for good reason, extremely productive. Same issues that Caleb Williams was fighting uphill against last year, I think Bo Nix is fighting against this year. And so I don't want to really dive too much into that. I just wanted to mention it. He's not on this list because of the West Coast deal. All right. So Bo Nix, plenty productive enough. We'll see if Oregon is competitive enough late in the year to get him in that conversation. But Caleb Williams, Jordan Travis, Carson Beck now, keep an eye on Carson Beck, and Drake Maye, all, for my money, going to have a shot to win the Heisman Trophy. Lock it in right here. Make sure you're subscribed. We talk college football every single day. Get at me on Twitter. Get at me on Instagram. Who do you think is going to win the Heisman Trophy in 2023? Looking forward to hearing from y'all. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.